party's hanging by a thread.
We gotta get rid of Biden.
The party's hanging by a thread. You gotta save the party. Listen, no more QAnon, no more MAGA,
no more CNN,
no more debt ceiling nonsense. Come on now, save the party.
Wait, what was that?
Come on now, save the party.
Democratic Representative Jamaal Bowman laughed at Marjorie Taylor Greene on the steps of the Capitol, and now she's trying to shed white tears and paint herself as the victim. But the only problem is their whole interaction was filmed by multiple journalists and staffers. Representative Jamaal Bowman is truly a force to be reckoned with. The man is a national treasure when it comes to calling out these MAGA lunatics. I mean, let's just take a look at what he's done this year. After the school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee, Bowman, who is a former educator, called out the gun-groping MAGA extremist Thomas Massie in the halls of the Capitol.
States that have open carry laws have more death. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Calm down, children are dying. 9-year-old children. The solution is not arming teachers.
And then after Donald Trump was arraigned on 34 felony counts in New York City, Bowman called out Marjorie Taylor Greene for even showing up to her 5-minute unsanctioned rally.
Now let's talk about the truth. Now let's talk about the truth. Get out of here! Get out of here!
We're gonna come back to this moment in a bit, but Marjorie Taylor Greene ran away with her right-wing reporter boyfriend Brian Glenn so fast that she couldn't even get her victim story straight.
We were swarmed, unbelievably swarmed. And then, of course, guess who was out there, Brian? You saw them, the people that bring their whistles, they bring all kinds of instruments to make loud noise. And what it is it's assault. It's assault on your ears. It's it causes audible damage to your ears.
I don't know about you, but methinks the lady doth protest too much. She even went on different right-wing media outlets like the Charlie Kirk Show saying that counter-protesters were bumping the car. And the only problem with that narrative is that there were literally NYPD officers surrounding the car to prevent that very thing from happening.
We had a large counter-protest behind the car. They were bumping the car and so forth. So we had to pull away. It's a chaotic scene down there. It is unbelievable. People, just horrible people.
This is also the same event where protesters caused George Santos to run away crying.
I'm doing nothing. I'm leaving.
Are you coming back at all later today?
No, because you guys make it unbearable to be here.
And speaking of George Santos and multiple felonies, after the House voted down a measure to expel Santos, Bowman was outside the Capitol heckling Santos to resign.
The process is playing itself out.
He gotta go!
I'm confident that I will fight to clear my name.
Why do you deserve another term in Congress, sir?
If I could understand you over my colleagues screaming here, the reality
New
is
Yorkers need better! You gotta go, man, come on!
And then right after that very moment, Marjorie Taylor Greene actively chose to engage with Jamaal Bowman, which just goes to show you that some people are unable to learn from their mistakes.
Expel him. You gotta save the party. The party's hanging by a thread.
We gotta get rid of Biden.
The party's hanging by a thread. You gotta save the party. Listen, no more QAnon. No more MAGA.
No more CNN.
No more debt ceiling nonsense. Come on now. Save the party.
No, we gotta
save
save the
America.
country.
Save the
Biden.
children.
Save the
Do
country.
something about guns.
Right, so close
Come
the
on.
border.
Invest in
Close
education.
the border. Save the
The
children.
border is
What about
what
the
Trump
children?
left.
Hey,
What are you
where are all the
talking
kids?
about?
Where are all the migrant
What
children?
kids?
You guys have
We're
lost
accepting them. We love
no,
them.
you've lost
We
them.
love the
There's
migrant
tens
children.
of
What do you
thousands
mean lost
missing.
them?
You can't find them.
What are you
That's
talking
your
about?
administration.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, migrant children are missing. You don't know the news.
No, we don't know the news.
Oh, you were
That's Fox
sadly
News.
listened before.
That's
Hey,
Fox
let me
News.
tell you
Listen,
something,
I
Jamaal.
need you to
Not
save
very
the party.
smart. You should pay attention. She ain't worth it, bro.
Save the party.
She ain't worth it, bro. She ain't worth it.
I just want to quickly replay this beautiful moment from AOC.
Party.
She ain't worth it, bro. She ain't worth it.
You know what? Let's just play that moment one more time.
Party.
She ain't worth it, bro. She ain't worth it.
So within the span of a few minutes on the Capitol steps, Jamaal Bowman heckled George Santos and owned Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know about you, but I think we call that a BOGO. And just like her pathetic visit to New York City, Marjorie Taylor Greene is now trying to spin that what happened on the Capitol steps didn't actually happen the way that everyone saw it happen. There were so many people filming their interaction that you could watch it from multiple angles. like this one.
Come on now, save the party, save America, save the children, do something about guns.
Or this one.
We gotta save the party. Listen, no more QAnon, no more MAGA, no more debt ceiling nonsense.
Or this one too.
No, we don't know the news. I don't know. That's Fox News. That's Fox News. Listen, I need you to save the party.
Pay attention.
Save the party.
There are so many angles that you could actually map them to create a 360-degree perspective. And as a result of the interaction on the Capitol steps, Marjorie Taylor Greene decided that she had to hold a press conference.
Jamaal Bowman was down there cursing at me, telling me to get the F out of there, and he was leading the mob right outside the vehicle I was sitting in. We have this all on video.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about Trump's arraignment in New York City, to which Bowman never cursed at her or told her to get the F out of there. That would actually be other New Yorkers who were totally in their right to do so. You know, because of the First Amendment and all. Actually, I'm sorry, there's one small correction. Bowman did say get the hell out of there.
New York City stood up to Marjorie Taylor Greene to let her know, get the hell out of here. Don't open one word in our freaking city.
Never thought Republicans would ever get triggered by the word hell, but hey, what do I know? According to Marge, calling someone a white supremacist is like saying the N-word.
But I will tell you what's on video is Jamaal Bowman shouting at the top of his lungs, cursing, calling me a calling me a white supremacist, which I take great offense to. That is like calling a person of color the N-word, which should never happen. Calling me a white supremacist is equal to that, and that is wrong.
Just so we're clear, calling someone a white supremacist is nowhere close to calling someone the N-word. Well, unless the N-word stands for Nazi, then yeah, white supremacist is pretty much the same thing. Also, is it just me, or do white supremacists get really offended when you call them white supremacists? And look, I'm just making a suggestion, but maybe if they don't want to be called white supremacists, then they should stop saying and doing white supremacist things.
We are honored, we are humbled and excited to welcome to the stage right now for our first speech, and we love to get to know her much better. I think this is going to be the beginning of something great. The representative from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Well, hello, canceled Americans.
Make sure to keep calling them white supremacists. Also, Jamaal Bowman never called Marjorie Taylor Greene a white supremacist when she was in New York City. This is what he actually said.
I was born and raised in New York City. This is the city that I love. It's a city focused on hard work and love for all people. We will never accept hateful rhetoric in our city. Any rhetoric that is divisive, any rhetoric that uplifts white supremacy, we are pushing back against that in all its forms.
But leave it to Marjorie Taylor Greene to lie and play victim. And Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to act all innocent is hilarious, since all of the anti-Semitic, Islamophobic, homophobic, transphobic, and racist remarks that she's made are all well documented. I mean, she filmed them herself.
I know a ton of white people that are as lazy and sorry and probably worse than black people I know.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's history of bigotry is longer than a CVS receipt. But if I'm being honest, I find her complaint a bit rich, because if you remember, before she was Congresswoman, she harassed AOC and her staff by screaming through AOC's office mail slot. Marjorie Taylor Greene chased and harassed David Hogg, a survivor of the Parkland School shooting, and then claimed that he was a crisis actor. She's the same person who on 2 separate occasions stood up, booed, and yelled while President Biden was speaking. And when it comes to the Capitol steps, Marjorie Taylor Greene literally started a screaming match with Democrats over an abortion rights bill, so she can save it with the fake innocence routine.
On the Capitol steps yesterday, he was the one that approached me.
And when you know it, Marjorie Taylor Greene is lying again. Jamaal Bowman is seen here walking down the steps as he heckles George Santos. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is seen here at the bottom of the video walking towards the foot of the steps. Man, I'm so glad we checked the footage like Marge recommended. But I believe the most disgusting part of this whole press conference is how Marjorie Taylor Taylor Greene tries to shed her little white tears and then blame the angry black man.
What concerns me about Jamaal Bowman is he has a history of aggression, not just towards others, but towards me in particular, and I'm very concerned about it. I think there's a lot of concern about Jamaal Bowman. So, and I am concerned about it. I feel threatened by him. He not only led a mob there, but his boisterous lies.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure if we watched it one more time, you would see that Jamaal Bowman was neither threatening or aggressive. Marjorie Taylor Greene chose to engage with Jamaal Bowman. She smiled, she laughed, she failed at starting an impeach Biden chant, and then she just walked away. But I believe the one person who can best call attention to her white supremacist tactics is Jamaal Bowman himself.
Marjorie Taylor Greene in her press conference this morning said something incredibly dangerous and incredibly reckless about me, talking about my demeanor as being aggressive and saying that she feels intimidated by me. Unfortunately, this country has a history of characterizing black men who are outspoken, who stand their ground, and who push back as being threatening or intimidating. So she's not even using a dog whistle. She's using a bullhorn to put a target on my back to the people that she refers to as MAGA people out there who might want to cause harm. This is the same reason why Mike Brown was killed. This is one of the reasons why Emmett Till was killed. And throughout history, black men have continued to be characterized as aggressive because, one, because of our skin color, but two, because we happen to be outspoken and passionate about certain issues.
Marjorie Taylor Greene knows exactly what she's doing, and she used her press conference as retaliation for getting mocked and laughed at, though it's not Bowman's fault that she's a joke. No one takes her or the GOP seriously. They spend their time banning books, attacking women's rights, not seeing the LGBTQ+ community as humans, not lifting a finger when school children are slaughtered by guns, and on top of all of that, they make sure to protect white supremacists and traitors. The Republican Party holds the majority in various state governments as well as the US House of Representatives, and guess what? They still can't accomplish shit. So when I see someone like Jamaal Bowman mocking these clowns, I say, good. And whenever Republicans are confronted, mocked, and or laughed at for their policies or for attacking others, they melt like a snowflake. Well, until next episode, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That? If you enjoyed today's episode and want to support the work that goes into creating the What Was That show, you can join my Patreon at whatwasthatshow.com. You'll get access to early episodes, exclusive bits, behind-the-scenes content, access to the show's private Discord, as well as live Q&As to connect directly with me to offer up comments, questions, and suggested topics to be featured on the show. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you over on Patreon.